Your Excellencies, fellow institutional partners, fellow researchers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please accept my sincere regrets for not being able to be with you in person due to circumstances beyond my control. The African Development Bank Group and its partners, the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa and the United Nations Development Program, are delighted to welcome you to the beautiful and historical city of Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, for this year's 2023 African Economic Conference, AEC. The conference will run for 3 days, from 16th to 18th November 2023. You are all welcome to join us. The theme of this year's conference, the imperatives for sustainable industrial development in Africa, is both timely and critical, given the multiple and overlapping shocks faced by African countries in recent years, which has once again highlighted the need for us to rethink our development models. Africa's manufacturing value added represented only 2.1% of the global manufacturing value added over the period 2000 to 2021, the lowest share in the world. Africa's manufactured exports also accounted for only 1% of the world's manufactured exports over the period 2000 to 2022, and its exports of intermediate goods averaged only 3.8% of the global exports of intermediate goods over the period, the year 2000 to 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, the COVID-19 pandemic exposed the structural deficiencies of Africa's industrial process and the dependence on foreign manufactured and intermediate goods. In particular, the pharmaceuticals and the medical services in many African countries were not ready and adequate to respond to the health crisis caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The global supply chain disruptions that occurred during the pandemic also revealed Africa's vulnerability to external trade shocks. A deliberate strategy for sustainable industrialization and structural transformation in Africa is therefore critical for building Africa's resilience to shocks, creating quality jobs, boosting innovation and productivity through new technologies and production processes that will lift millions out of poverty. In addition to the direct employment that industrialization creates, it also creates jobs indirectly thanks to the strong linkages with other sectors, particularly agriculture and services. Ladies and gentlemen, the opportunities for industrialization in Africa are numerous. Given its green wealth, Africa's resource-based industrialization appears to be natural. Indeed, Africa holds about 30% of the world's mineral resources and over 65% of the world's uncultivated arable land. The continent also is endowed with ample solar, wind, and hydropower technical potential, and, for example, represents an estimated 45% of total global technical potential on renewable energy. Africa's mineral reserves includes ample supplies of uranium, diamond, nickel, iron, and several green minerals that can allow the continent to play a critical role in the global transition to a low-carbon development pathway. The global market for electric vehicles alone, with its potential to become a $7 trillion market by 2025, provides an ample opportunity for Africa to lead the green economy for the future by adding value to green industrial minerals and integrating it into the global manufacturing and supply chains of the components for building electric vehicles. Ladies and gentlemen, with the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, African countries that have not yet integrated global value chains can benefit from economies of scale necessary for emergence of internationally competitive industries by integrating regional value chains. With regional integration and globalization, virtually all countries can identify products for which it has overt or latent comparative and competitive advantages and facilitate the entrance of its firms into related regional or global value chains. This can help scale production to create own niches for every country on this continent in global markets. Ladies and gentlemen, inspiring success stories are already many in Africa. Although the pace of Africa's economic transformation remains slow, to catch up with other regions of the world, there are a few very encouraging stories to tell. Indeed, countries such as South Africa, Morocco, Egypt, Tunisia, Mauritius, and others are already leading in this process according to the bank's 2022 Africa Industrialization Index. These countries are leading in various sectors such as textile and apparel, automotives, and aeronautics. But we need more countries to join this group to transform the continent's manufacturing and industrial landscape in the coming decade. As of 2018, there were already 438 African businesses with over $1 billion in annual sales. Today, there are probably many more. We need more of these champions to make the needed investments to accelerate industrialization through diversification and to pull small and medium-scale enterprises through interlinkages. Ladies and gentlemen, the African Economic Conference 2023 will provide an opportunity for participants to review experiences of industrialization on the continent and to identify the challenges faced, the lessons learned, opportunities for innovation, and strategies for leveraging industrialization to realize Africa's full potential for ensuring sustained economic and social development in Africa. It will also provide a platform for established academics and young researchers to rub minds and present to policymakers and decision makers solution-oriented research on how to strengthen industrialization drive in Africa. This will help us to accelerate the sustainable development goals in Africa and the achievement of Agenda 2063 in Africa. To end, let me welcome you all to this year's 2023 African Economic Conference. Thank you for listening as I look forward to very fruitful deliberations and clear policy recommendations from our deliberations. Thank you.